Hello children, how are you children? You all are well and fine? Okay children, take care of your health children. So children, in this session today we are going to learn chapter 18. Remaining part of this chapter we are going to learn. So I am requesting you open your social textbook, 7th class social textbook page number 168. Open children. I am calling your friend Afrin. She will come and read here. Textbook page number 168. Afrin, come here.
Had caste system always been there? No, there was a time when there was no caste system. Gathers and tribes. Caste system. Some aspects of the Varna in which the four major Varnas Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra are mentioned. Later on many new aspects like untouchability and restrictions on marriage. That the lower caste should serve and obey over India, including Telangana, in the times of the kingdoms you study in the chapter level and 12. As these ideas spread, many people, Mahavira, Ramanuja, Basava, Kabir Ramanuja, Basava, Kabir Vemana, etc. criticized the idea of some people being superior to others by birth. They felt that all people, irrespective of the birth or profession, and can perform good deeds and attain salvation. You will read about them in greater detail in later chapters. Striving for equality. You read about the establishment of British rule and the beginning of struggle. British rule also included within the struggle of large groups of people who not only fought against the British but also fought to be treated more equally. Dalits, women, tribal and peasants fought against the inequalities they experienced in their lives. In the 19th and the 20th century, several social reforms fought to create a new social system based on freedom, equality, brotherhood, human dignity and economic justice. They included Jyotirao, Govindarao Phule, Savitri Bai Phule, Periyar Ramasamy Naikar, Sri Narayana Guru and Ayyankali. We shall read about some of them in class 8. During the colonial period in the Telangana region, to social mobilization emerged some of the important people involved in there. P. Venkateswamy, Ishwari Bai, T. N. Sadalakshmi, C. S. Iti Rajan, Alige Ramasamy, M. Venkateswamy, B. S. Venkatrao, etc. Let us look at the struggles of one of them. B. S. Venkatrao, 1896 to 1953. Bathula Venkatrao was born in Kasmandi, Hyderabad. He was popularly known as Rao Sahib. His father, Bathula Sayanna, was a domestic servant of the Europeans. B. S. Venkatrao studied up to 9th class as well versed in English. Before joining the public, as well as in English, Urdu, Persian and Marathi. Apart from Telugu, he worked as a sculptor or Olympian.
sculpture in Pune.
Pune. Before joining the Public Works Department of the Nizam's government, he rose to a very high position in the government of the Nizam period prior to independence. Having experienced untouchability and its impact on the suppressed classes, he was determined to eradicate it. The Adi Dravida Sangham was formed with his objective in 1922 with the assistance of people like M. Govindarajulu and M. Venkataswamy. Its main objective included abolition of the Devadasi system and bringing unity amongst the Dalits. Later they formed the Adi Hindu Mahasabha in April 1927. A decade later, after an influential discussion at Pune, they formed Youth League Ambedkaris with the objective of getting educated Dalit youth to propagate awareness about the exploitation based on caste. This was later renamed as Hyderabad State Depressed Classes Association. The leaders of the organization went from place to place and organized meetings, caste operations, the movements taking place in the country for the emancipation of the Dalit caste and the need to organize and defend themselves. Some of them also promoted religious reform so that the Dalits were free of the casteist superstitions. They constructed houses and library in the Gasmandi area and named it Audi Nagar. Across the Hyderabad city, they also constructed 18 temples for the Dalits. B.S. Venkatrao's contribution to the Dalit upliftment in Hyderabad was recognized by D.R. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who invited him to preside over the Bombay Presidency Mahar Conference in 1936 at Bombay. The conference was attended by 10,000 people and unanimously resolved to support the movement initiated by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Movement initiated by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on 1st April 1947, the Hyderabad Assembly debated on the resolution moved by Palyam Pillai recommending to the President in Council for a grant of 20 lakh rupees for the uplift of the suppressed classes of the state. Sri Venkatrao moved an amendment to the resolution raising the grant to 1 crore rupees. The House agreed to make a recommendation to the Prime Minister for the grant of 1 crore to the fund. Accordingly, the Nizam constituted the depressed classes welfare fund and sanctioned the 1 crore rupees for the same. The Nizam honored him by awarding the title of Khusru-e-Decade. He was elected the Rajya Sabha by the State Legislative Assembly after 1952. Equality after independence.
Thank you, okay. So children, how she reading song? You also make a reading a habit of some reading. Okay, na? We'll see the page number 168. Had caste system always been there? No, there was a time No, there was a time when there was no caste system. We saw the lives of hunter, gatherers and tribes. They did not have any caste system. Some aspects of the Varna system emerged in the later Vedic period, in which the four major Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudra are mentioned. So children, when the life is started, according to our history, when the tribals are there, hunter-gatherers are there, in that time, in our society, there were no caste system. It is started from only Vedic period. In Vedic period, they made the system of Varnas, and in this Varna, the society is divided into the four Varnas. They are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudra. Like these four Varnas, they made into the society, and the society is divided into these four Varnas. Later on, many new aspects like untouchability and restrictions on marriage and eating together is extra emerged. After this, making the Varnas, later in the society, the traditionally started to untouchability, okay, restrictions on marriages and eating together also, because those people those belong to the Shudra group, they are called untouchable peoples, and these peoples are not allowed to enter in the higher caste peoples. Those are Kshatriya, Brahmin and Vaishyas. These people are treating them insulting into the society, and there are the restrictions on the marriages also came. If the girl belong to the Shudra family, she can't marry with the boy who belong to the Brahman family. So like this, restrictions on the marriage, restriction on the sitting with them for eating also came. A person belong to the Shudra family, he can't sit along with the Brahman family and eat. There also restrictions came. It was said that the lower caste should serve and obey the higher class. So in the short we have to say the lower caste have to serve the higher caste, and the lower caste have to obey them. These ideas spread all over India, including Telangana, in the times of the kingdoms you studied in chapter 11 and 12. So this discrimination idea was spread over all India, and in the Telangana also, in that time of the kingdoms are ruling in our Telangana state, that we had learned in the previous chapter 11 and 12. As this idea spread by many criticized them. As this idea spread, many people criticized them. When this idea spread into the society, many people criticized this idea, not accepted this idea. Who are that people, children? That people are thinkers like Buddha, Mahavira, Ramanuja, Basava, Kabir and Vemana. These peoples are never accepted this idea of the untouchability Varna systems. Restriction on the Shudra people, belonging to the Shudra caste people. So these people are criticizing this idea, and they want to bring some changes in the society. They felt that all people, irrespective of their birth or profession, can perform good deeds and attain salvation. So they felt that all people are equal irrespective of their birth. All people are equal irrespective of their birth. They have the equal right to do what they want to do. Okay, and they have to perform good deeds and attain salvation. And they can perform good deeds and attain the salvation. These told to the thinkers of Buddha, Mahavira, Ramanuja, Vemana, Kabir. Okay, so these people are badly criticized on this Varna system in the society. We will read about them in greater detail in later chapters. In that, when you will enter into the higher section, children, you will get details about once again about this Varna system. Now, striving for equality, we'll see. You read about the establishment of British rule and the beginning of struggle against it. The struggle for freedom from British rule also included within it the struggle of large groups of people who not only fought against the British but also fought to be treated more equally. So, when the British Empire, British rule started began into our country, in that time also there is a movement to fight about equality because the British people are not equally treated. Our Indian people as equal to the British people. They are also showing the inequality in their behavior in the society, and in this time also the movement is began to struggle for equal treatment, and the large groups are divided and they start fight against the British to get the equal treatment as they are treating to their British soldiers. Dalits women, tribals and peasants fought against the inequalities they experience in their lives, and the Dalit women, tribals and peasants means farmers, they also fought, women are fought against the inequality they experience in their lives. So when the British rule is there in our country, so Dalit women, peasants and tribals also fought against the inequality as they experience in their life. In the 19th and the 20th century, several social reformers fought to create a new social system based on the freedom. In the 19th and 20th century, many social reformers fought against the inequality and to bring out a new reform social system into the Indian society. And a new social based on, which new social they want to, a new social based on the freedom. A new society should reform based on the freedom. Freedom means what, children? Freedom, swatantrata. Okay, freedom means you can say, okay, swatantrata. Okay, freedom in the sense you can say free from somebody's restrictions. Okay, equality and brotherhood. All are brothers and sisters. This is brotherhood. Human dignity and economic justice. So these social reformers fought they want to reform the society on the based on the freedom, equality, brotherhood, human dignity and economic justice. They include in this who are the social reformers. They fought for this. So the names they given here: Jyotirao Govindrao Phule, Savitribai Phule, Periyar Iri, Ramaswamy Naicker, Sri Narayana Guru and Ayyankali. These are the social reformers fought against the inequality present into the society. They want to reform the society on the based on freedom, equality, brotherhood and social justice. During the colonial period in the Telangana region, too, social mobilization emerged. Some of the important people involved in it were P. Venkataswamy, Ishwari Bhai, T. N. Sadalakshmi, C. S. Ithirajan, Ariges Ramaswamy, M. Venkataswamy, B. S. Venkatrao, etc. These also the social reformers started fought against to bring the changes into the society in Telangana state. In the Telangana state, these social reformers started fought against the inequality into the present into the society. They want to change. They want to bring social reforms and based on the freedom, equality, brotherhood, and economic justice into the Telangana society. B.S. Venkatrao, how he struggled about this, they given here. And he struggled in which period, children? 1896 to 1953. Batumula Venkatrao was born in Ghasmandi, Hyderabad. He was popularly known as Rao Sahib. His father, Bhatula Sayana, was a domestic servant of the Europeans. So, Bhatula Venkatrao, he was born in Ghasmandi in Hyderabad. He was popularly known as Rao Sahib. So he is from the upper caste, belongs to the upper caste. Okay. His father Bhatula Sayana was a domestic servant of the Europeans. B.S. Venkatrao studied up to 9th class. This B.S. Venkatrao, Bhatula Venkatrao studied up to 9th class and was well versed in English, Urdu, Persian and Marathi also. He studied, but apart from Telugu, only Telugu he did not study. All languages, English, Urdu, Persian and Marathi he was studied, but he did not study the Telugu. Okay, apart from Telugu, all the languages he studied. He worked as a sculptor in Pune. Before joining the public department of the Nizam's government. Nizam's government, he worked as a sculptor in the Pune. He rose to a very high position in the government of the Nizam prior to independence. He rose a very high position when the Nizam government is into the Hyderabad prior to independence. Okay, before to independence in Hyderabad there was a Nizam government. In this Nizam government time he arose a high position. Having experienced untouchability and its impact on the suppressed classes, he was determined to eradicate it. So he had the good experience. He saw the examples in front of his sight in the society. What inequality is going to do? What inequality is facing the untouchability peoples into the society? He felt very bad and he decided to eradicate this untouchability system from the society. The Adi Dravida Sangham was formed with his objective. That's why he formed Adi Dravida Sangham in 1922 with the assistance of people like main objective included abolition of the Devadasi system. So this B.S. Venkatrao had established one Sangham, Adi Dravida Sangham in 1922, and his main objective is abolition of system of Devadasi, which is present in the Telangana society. Devadasi system and bringing unity among the Dalits and bringing unity among the Dalits also. So that is the main aim of behind this Adi Dravida Sangha. They formed the Adi Hindu Mahasabha in April 1997. After that, they formed the Adi Hindu Mahasabha in April 1927. A decade later, after an influential decision at Pune, they formed Youth League Ambedkar Activities with the objective of getting educated Dalit youth to propagate awareness about the exploitation based on caste. This was later renamed as Hyderabad State Depressed Class Association. So the B.S. Venkatrao started first Adi Dravida Sangha, and through this in assistance of the people those are having the sight of social reformer with them, he first given a special objective of the main aim of this Adi Dravida Sangha is to bring abolition in Devadasi system and give equal treats to the Dalits. Afterwards, he 1927 he started Adi Hindu Mahasabha and he brought more awareness in between the untouchability peoples. And later this movement is called as Hyderabad State Depressed Class Association. Equality after independence, we'll see children here. When India became a free nation in 1947, our leaders too were concerned about the different kinds of inequalities that existed. When we got the freedom after 1947, our great national leaders also were concerned about the different kinds of inequalities that existed in our society. The people who wrote the Constitution of India, a document that laid out the rules by which the nation would function. We are aware of the ways in which discrimination had been practiced in our society and how people had get struggle against this. Many leaders of these struggles, such as Dr. Ambedkar, had also fought for the rights of the Dalits. So we know about the discrimination in the society, how the leaders are fought for that, and mainly in the name Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is belong from the Dalit family, how he fought for the discrimination among in the Dalit peoples. We know details about that. So these leaders set out a vision and goals in the constitution to ensure that all the people of India were considered equal. So these are leaders set out a vision. These all leaders set out a vision. Which vision, children? Goals in the constitution. Goals into the constitution to ensure that ante vishwasam ibbali annattu. Okay, mana constitution ante bharatiya okay rajaghatna. Okay, you can say that constitution mana administrative rules and regulations tayarayinade దీన్ని constitutions అంటాము. Okay, who written these all? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So these leaders set a vision, goals in the constitution to ensure that all the people of India were considered equal. Okay, so all are equal in front of the constitution. This equality of persons is seen as a key value that unites us all as Indians. Everyone has equal rights and opportunities. Untouchability is seen as a crime and has been legally abolished by the law. And after when our Indian Constitution was written, after that this untouchability became a crime. If any untouchability find into the society, it is a crime and a crime. And legally abolished and has been it is legally abolished by the law. People are free to choose the kind of work they wish to do. People from any caste, they have right to choose the work they want to do. In addition, the Constitution also placed a responsibility on the government to take specific steps to realize this right to equality for poor and other such marginal communities. And our government also given some rights to the weaker section, backward section peoples to change their lifestyles and to get a high position into the society as equal to other caste peoples. So once you till here, once go through the reading, children, then we will discuss the further topic. So after we got independence 1947, our leaders set a vision to bring equality among our Indian society and get the equal right untouchables into the society. For that sake, they made our Indian Constitution in that way. So all are equal in front of our Indian Constitution. Our Indian Constitution given them equal rights. If he belongs to the untouchable also, he has the right to equal to other caste. He can do the whatever he want to do, jobs or work as he wish to, as he want to do as his wish into the society. So this our society situations are changed after independence. One of the steps taken by the government includes the midday meal scheme, and one of the important steps taken our government midday meal scheme. This refers to the program introduced in all government elementary schools to provide wholesome cooked lunch to all the children. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce this scheme, and in 2001. So, to changing the lifestyle of the weaker section, backward section, our government also took many schemes. And one more important scheme is midday scheme is started from government into the elementary school. Those are children studying in the elementary school. For them, our government is providing midday lunch to all the children. And this scheme first started into the Tamil Nadu. When it is started? 2001. The Supreme Court asked all the state governments to begin this program in their schools within the 6 months, and after that, state governments to begin this program, and after that the Supreme Court asked to all the states to begin this midday meal scheme in their states, in their concerned states, for the classes 6 for the elementary classes within the 6 months. These include the fact that more poor children have begun attending school. Teachers reported that earlier children would often go home for lunch and did not return to school. But now with the midday meal being provided in school, their attendance has improved. So before starting this midday meal scheme into the school, so the poor section children will go to home for lunch and they will not return to school. But after starting this midday meal scheme into the school, the poor children are more poor children are begun to come school, and they are attending the full day school because of in the school they will get the midday meal, and the students are attendance is increased, and the students number is increased to coming to the school. Like this way, government is encourage the poor section children to come to school, learn and attend the school. This program had also helped reduce caste prejudice because both lower and upper caste children in the school eat the meal together, and this program is reduced caste prejudices. Means in the olden days, the lower caste child should not sit along the higher class child and eat. Now this program is changed that restrictions, and now poor children and the rich children also equally sitting together and taking the meals. So these are the changes came in our societies after we got the independent children and for bringing these changes, our social reformers hardly struggle. They struggle a lot to bring the new side into our society. Okay, so because of their struggle and moment only, we got these benefits, facilities in the society which we are taking benefits now also present. Okay, na? So children, here we completed chapter 18. Now it's time for the Sakshi. Write your Sakshi like this. Sakshi. Write subject. Social. You write class. 7th class. class. And HW have to write. At the end of the chapter, they given question answer. That all question answers have to write into the homework one time, children. So learn and write all question and answers from chapter 18. CHW one time. So here you have to take pen and sign, and your teachers will give the sign.